Hello and welcome back to A Foreigner and Family in the Philippines. And I'm back over here to this little row of mahogany trees that I had done some trimming on and some cleaning up back here. They seem to be doing well, except for the fact that a lot of them were planted with too tight a spacing, and they still seem to be doing okay. I need to get back over here. I need a ladder or a pruner pole saw that so I can reach some of these branches that are a little higher up. And I did just plucked off the little stems of the ones that I could reach here. And this is not how I intended to do my border trees. I'm actually going to do a 4x6 spacing on those, and I could probably squeeze a row in behind these, and then that'd be pretty similar, except for that's a little too tight right there. Those are like some are a meter apart, but the purpose of this video was to show our Madre de Cacao. We have some Madre de Cacao here in between each post. We planted a Madre de Cacao, and we had gotten this Madre de Cacao from a neighbor. They had recommended that we go up there and get the mother branches of these Madre de Cacao, which would be like the main stem, because they had already cut the Madre de Cacao to use, but because they're building a road over there, they didn't want that border fence was no longer going to be there. But it looks like all of this Madre de Cacao that we planted it didn't survive. None of them. I don't think it's going to make a comeback. And that's the thing with Madre de Cacao. You cut a branch, but apparently that does not work for the main trunk of it. But it makes a great border tree because it's pest resistant. Rats, it's a natural rat poison, so rats don't like it. And it's a good small bushy type tree that doesn't get too big. And so it'd be great to take over for these, because I got a lot of bamboo. Some areas where I've got like 10 bamboos in one. This one was alternating because this was an area where we wanted some cement posts. But when these bamboos rot, that kind of the Madre de Cacao kind of takes over. Looking at them, I don't see one of them that is alive. With any new growth, I mean, this is the dry season, but even in this particular dry season, we've had some sporadic rain. So, well, lesson learned on that. You don't plant maybe that's why they suggested it. They got rid of the mother stumps up there, and they knew it wasn't going to grow. They weren't going to grow. But we're in the process of getting some more of the branches, and the branches you can just kind of stick in the ground, but we are digging up. We're putting a little attemt in because we want those to... Now this one actually does have a couple of little green shoots coming out of it. So, one out of all of those. And that's the only one I've seen. So I don't know if the other ones are dead, if they're going to shoot out some green growth like that or not. But I definitely want that Madre de Cacao to be my border. It's good for blocking the view, especially since we're going to have some fruit trees here. So have that in front on the fence. So it acts as a post for the fence. It helps keep some weed growth off of the fence. Oh, and it's a nitrogen fixer, so it's also, the leaves are a good fertilizer as well. And then to have the border trees behind it. And as of now, I've got the border trees as I'm going to have some mahogany like this here, and then I'm going to have an area with some teak trees. There was a malave tree, which is a very pretty wood, but it's endangered, and I wanted to use that. However, it can be an issue when you go to cut it down. Special permits, and even though you planted it, there still can be some issues there. So, and it looks like right here is the start of it. We planted, these are new sticks. Now, I have no doubt that these sticks are going to be just fine. This is Madre de Cacao. This is how you normally do it, but that was just a weird circumstances, and we got those mother branches, so we just went with it. But so these should be fine. The only issue with these is, I've heard, because folks will take firewood for just about everything. I've had folks coming back. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have the fence in the first place, because folks just come on and take what they need, and I want some of that wood rotting and returning back to the soil. But like this one here, now, and it could be this because we just planted this. It could already have that green out on it, but it's already got some sprouts coming out of it. So good. We've got a pretty good amount of this actually going all the way down to the coconut tree. So that's quite a bit of Madre de Cacao there. And then once that actually grows, then I don't have to worry about getting the Madre de Cacao from somewhere else, because it grows right there, and it has like each one you can cut off a whole bunch of sticks of it and then plant that in the ground if you want. So then you have your own. So, and I'm just looking over here. This is part of that little area that we had tractored. So that way we can plant some corn over here. And I was not even expecting to have a tractor. I was just looking at having it because I had the Carabao, and I planned on just having them plow it. But I had someone that I trust over here take care of this corn planting, so that way I can focus on the fruit planting on the other side. And they mentioned that they wanted to rent the tractor, and at first I'm like, no, a tractor, but it actually does. It looks very good, except for some of these areas. It looks like the tractor, I mean, the grass is brown over there, but it really didn't chew that up. I guess they didn't clean up a good enough area here. Well, I just went by those. There are some bees here. This is a small little hive of bees, but these little bees, I had to put down my machete is all. These little bees here have been a pain in the butt as far as stinging me. They have stung me many times. I don't even want to get that close to them, because I know they're gonna mess with me there. I don't know if it's picking them up, and I'm not really looking to get too close to them anyway. So, but those bees have gotten me several times, and I don't mind totally getting rid of those. I know some folks are into their conservation of their bees. They want all the bees on the property because they're great pollinators, but I just get sick of getting stung by bees. So I wouldn't mind. I've gotten rid of at least 30 little beehives like that. Most of them are larger than that, but it's been a ridiculous amount of times I've gotten stung. More times here in a week than I would have gotten stung in 30 years in the US. Although saying that, I haven't been stung in maybe the last month. I've been staying away. I know where they're at, and I stay away from them now. Only two active hives on the property that I'm aware of right now. So I'm kind of also, while I'm walking along looking at the Madre de Cacao that we planted here, I am looking over at the tractor job too, which is great. I mean, it leveled some of this out. This area was pretty rough and thick back here. I was chopping some of this down even better. Looks really good, actually. So I made it to the coconut tree here, and I just wanted to see. It looks like it actually, we got some here. And I'm doing a video on the Madre de Cacao, so it would be good to show a Madre de Cacao. But I don't. I know this. I recognize these trees here. Some people use these as border trees. Apple. It is a good, apparently, like cows and goats like to eat it. But it actually gets a little bit bigger, and it can be a little bit more of a nuisance. Almost a little, can provide a little too much shade, and so I prefer the Madre de Cacao. But when I come back here, the border is actually the creek, but it's kind of tough to put the fence down there, so just kind of put it up here. So we did kind of go around with the Madre de Cacao a little bit. Good. It kind of seals off this side, and then I think we're getting some more Madre de Cacao to seal off the other side as well. So that's good. And then we'll have more, and I want to have it all the way around. And we're getting ready to pick up my border trees, the seedlings, with the falcata that we had planted before. We did a nursery, but for this, I'm just picking up the seedlings, some mahogany seedlings and some teak seedlings. They're gonna be 5 pesos each, so that's a pretty good deal. And I'm doing through the 3 rows next to the fence. I'm going to do 4x6 spacing on them, offset, so it's kind of act as a good barrier. And one of the issues I'm having with that elf, I want to do an update video on that Isuzu elf, but with the coronavirus, there are some travel issues. The public transportation's down, and you need travel passes, and it just becomes a little bit of a challenge to go pick up. It's done at the mechanic. The third time at the mechanic since we purchased it. I wanted to get all the things that needed to be done with it, and I will wait to do that video and mention all the things that had to be done. Until I get it back, but I want to get it back because I need to get those mahogany and teak seedlings and some other things for it. But right now it's being stored there because I can't get it back from the mechanic, because it is quite a ways. It's on the other side of Cagayan de Oro, and the trek over there is pretty long. I'm trying to get some transport in for that. But, well, that's it for now on the Madre de Cacao. I'll do an update when some of this starts sprouting after a while, and just to show how it's growing and how it does as a border tree. And that's all for now. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.